Hello guys, and today I'm going to show you how I model this device, the mosquito repeller. Just creating some basic form of this, as you can see. Basically, some vent holes in the bottom and the lid. Okay, so I start by dropping the image into FreeCAD. Go to the top view. I double click on the image and I go to calibrate. And I click from the bottom to the top. And we set it to 100. I go up to the view and toggle axis cross to show the arrow. I go to transform and the rotation increment is 90 degrees and I rotate it facing to the front and move this one back. I go to the front view and continue to move the image up and align it to the center. Click OK. Alright, so now I want to create a frame outside chasing the outline of the object. And at the bottom, I will create a round rectangle down here. And using the curve ray to generate the solid in the middle. First, to change the outline, I go to create a new sketch in the front. And I will create B-splice. And zoom close here. And we start somewhere in here. And I put 2 points on the red line to control the tangency in here. And 1 point to control the curvature of the surface. And these 2 points up here. I select these 2 points. And I hit V for vertical constraint. And then I move this point down a little bit. Okay, something like this. And then I click on this B-splice and I go to symmetry, or you can use the hotkey Z and S. And you click on the middle line. Now I hit S to activate the symmetry constraint. And selecting this point, and the center line. And continue to do that. Okay, something like this. And I click OK. I will rename this one Hawker 1. And next I want to create a copy of this sketch. I click on it, go to the job workbench, and I go to create a new clone. For this one, I will rename this to Hawker 2. And I will go to transform and rotate this 90 degrees, and I grab the green one and rotate this. I turn off the grid. Next, I want to create the base sketch at the bottom. Go to the project workbench. Create a new sketch on the top view. And I will reference 1 point in here. Just 1 point is enough. And then I will create a round rectangle. I select in this line, hit A for equal. Select in this line and this point and hit C to snap it. Okay, now I select in this point, and the center point. I hit S for symmetry constraint. And then I select in this arc, hit D and set the radius to 30. Close. Next, I will go to the curve shape workbench. So if you don't have this workbench, you can go to Tools, Add-on Manager, searching for Curve. Click on the curve shapes, and you install this. Okay, now let me rename this sketch to profile. Now I can select in the profile first and the two whole curves later, and I go to curve array. I click on the new curve array and the items I set it to 20. And then the solid option I set this to true. So this is the result. I click on the curve rate, and to fix that, I go to the max degree and set that to 3. Now the surface is now much better, and you can increase the resolution by click on the curve rate again and go down to the items, set this, increase this one up to 25. Yeah. And now I will drop this one down and select all of these guys inside and hit spacebar to hide it. Next, I want to create the thickness. So I go to the plot workbench. In the plot workbench, to create thickness, you can try selecting this face and go to create thickness. And if the tool is now working, and you can increase or decrease the thickness to the number that you like. But in case you fail and you want to create and you want to do it manually, let me go out. In case you cannot create thickness, you can do something like this. You just go to selecting the curve rate, and you go to plot and scale. And for the uniform scaling, I click on the uniform scaling because I want to scale it in the X, Y, and Z. And I will set it to 0.9. Okay. And in the tree view, I have a new scale object. And inside the scale is the curve rate. I go to the front view, and if I show the wireframe and I show the curve rate, and you can see the curve rate is the object outside bigger than the scale. I select in the scale, and let me increase the uniform scale a little bit higher, 0.95. And I want to bring this scale up, so go to placement, position, and the z-axis. I put this one up. I bring this one up to about here, so that the scale is a little bit higher than the curve rate. Now I go back to the flat line. I control selecting the curve rate first and the scale later, and I go to cut. Okay, now we just create the thickness of the object. The next thing I need to do is I want to create this area in here. You can see this one is a big circle in here, and I want to bridge this circle with this geometry outside here to generate the surface. So first I will create a new sketch on the top view, but I will offset this one up to 100. And instead of creating a circle, I just create an arc, and because I will mirror it later, so I create a center arc from the red line to the green line. And let me set the radius to 75, something like this. The next step is I want to split this surface in half so that I will have a line in here. Split this one so that I have another line in here, and also creating one line like this and another line like this, so that I can later I can create a plane curve to blend in between, so that this point contact will have the G1 continuity, and this one will have G0. This one will have G0 because I don't want any continuity in here, and also the same in here. And from there, after I have these two plane curves, I will fill the surface in between. So first I will adjust this sketch. I click on the sketch and go inside it, and I create two lines. So one line from outside to inside. So when I create a line from here to here, so in here will be the starting point of the line, and this is the end point of the line. So when I create plane curve, the plane curve will automatically go to the starting point of the line. So I create another line from outside, go to inside. Alright, now I close. Next, I want to create another sketch in here, and extrude and creating a slice to generate a small line in here. I create another sketch on the top view and also offset this one to 100. And I will create one line in here and another line in here, so that these two lines just overlapping with this surface. Then I close. I will extrude this sketch to 20 and symmetric. Okay, now I can control selecting the body and the new extrude. And I go to plot, split, and then slide to compile. Alright, now I have these lines. But you can say this sketch right here is higher than this flat surface. So I need to bring this sketch lower a little bit, because you can say my object just go from here and they go down here a little bit, you can see. So I need to lower this sketch. I go to the Z-axis and change this to something like 85. Lower a little bit, yeah. Now I can create in plane curves. Go to the surface workbench. Control selecting this edge first. So this edge will be my first edge, and this edge will be my second edge. And creating plane curve. Okay, because I don't want to have any continuity in the first edge. So click on the plane curve. And in the first edge property, I zero out the continuity. And you can say the plane curve have the wrong position. So I go to the start parameter and set this to 1. Okay, now the plane curve go into this position, the correct one. I go to the second edge. I just want to have the Z1 continuity in here, so I click on here and hit 1. And the end side is 1 is, I think, is fine. I come to the other side, then doing the same. I control select this edge first and this edge later and create a plane curve. Click on the plane curve and go to the start continuity and set that to 0. And this one, actually 0 of anything is okay, but let's set it to 0. The end size, let's set it to 1. And the end continuity for the second edge, set that to 1. Okay. Now we have these two plane curves. Let's go to the filling tool. Click on it and start to fill the surface. Select edges in sequence. Okay, let me rename this sketch to inner circle. Something like this. Oops, wrong name. Let's rename again. Go inside and rename this again. Let me hide the sketch. And then I click on the surface and I go to the rock workbench. I go to modification, array tool, and polar rate. Reset point, and I set it to 4. Okay. Now I go to the curves workbench to turn that into a surface. And the curves workbench with the array selected, I click on parametric solid to create a new surface. I click on the new surface and I go to the part workbench and I go extrude this one up to, let's try 5, and the symmetric, and I click OK. And make sure you check on the create solid. Click OK. You can say I have a problem here because you can't find the normal direction. I confirm that and I go back here and select in the Z axis and I click OK. Alright. Now I will create the upper part of the lid. So in here we have 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And another circle up here. Alright, so now I will create a new sketch in the front view. And I will view the section. Zoom close here. And I will reference this line. And then I will create polyline. Start from here. Here, and then the last line in here. Okay. I select in this line, and I hit P for parallel. This one and this one, hit P. Okay, this is what we have. And selecting this line and hit the distance to 7. Maybe 7.5. And let's try the angle to 53. So the sketch is fully constrained. I close. I click on this sketch and go to revolve. And I will revolve it by degree. And symmetric angle. Click OK. All right. Now I click on the new revolve and I go to the drop workbench and go to modification, array tool, and polar array. Reset point and set this to 4. Okay. Now I will create in the circle on top. Go to the plot workbench again and create a new sketch in the front. And view the section. And then I will reference this line. And then I will create an arc, a 3-point arc. Start from here to here. From here to here. And make sure this point and this line have the constraint, so I hit C to snap it. This point and this line, hit C. Now I will create another line to connect in between here, from here to here. And I select in this arc and this line, and I hit N for 90 degrees. Doing the same, this arc and this line, hit N. And then I set the radius of this arc to 130. Selecting this arc and this arc, hit E for equal. And I also creating a line to close this sketch. And then I close. I click on this sketch and go to the revolve. Revolve this one. Okay. Alright, so this is what we have. Maybe this one is a little bit too high. So let's go back to the sketch. And let's change this radius a little bit higher, 150. Yeah, I think 150 is good. Now we will control selecting the revolve, the array, and the extrude. And I go to union. Alright, so now we just have the fusion. And let me rename this one to lid. Okay. And let me hide the slider up here. And inside the slide, let me show the cut. Because the geometry of the cut is cleaner. Next, I will create the vent holes down below. Let me hide the reference. Okay, now I will create a new sketch on the top view, but I click on the reverse direction to turn that into the bottom. And I will reference this line and then this line. And I will create in round rectangle, 2 round rectangle like this. Zoom close here, selecting this point and this line and hit C. This point and this line, hit C. Doing the same in here, this point and this line, hit C. This point and this line, hit C. Okay. And let me bring this one in a little bit. And this one in also, somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in here. Now I can create 2 lines. One line from the middle down here. And another line from the middle to the right. And then I hit G and T to activate the trim edge. And then I remove these edges in the left. And these edges up here. And then I can select from right to left everything up here and just delete it. Select here and delete it. Select this line and delete it. This line and delete it. And some close here. Select, now I constrain it again. I select in this point and this line and I hit C. This point and this line, hit C. Doing the same in here, this point and this line, hit C. This point and this line, hit C. Okay. Okay, now I can close. Next, I want to turn. You can see this cat now have this line have three have one line here, one arc here, and another line here. So I want just one curve in here. So that I need to join them in the join curve. So I go to the curve workbench and control selecting this edge, and then this edge, and create a join curve. Doing the same. Now let me hide the sketch 006. And you can see I have two choice curves. I click on each one and turn that into discrete chunks. Now I have two discrete chunk edges. I shift select these two and go down to the data. The number I set this to 10. I just want 10 points. And let's see, the view, I set the point size to 10. Okay. Now let me create, I go to the project workbench. Let me create slots in between. I create a new sketch on the top view, but I reverse direction. Let me go out. And let me hide the join curve. And let me go inside the sketch. And I will reference these points. Okay. And then I will create slots in between. Okay, now I can select all of these arcs. And then I hit A for equal. And then I select in this arc and hit D and set the radius just to 3. Maybe 2.5. Okay. Now be aware that the first slot and the last slot will break the constraint. So we need to reconstrain it. So I come up here and select in this point and hit C. Doing the same, this point and this point, hit C. Come down here, this one and this one, hit C. This one and this one, hit C. Okay, now the sketch is fully constrained. I close. I select the sketch 007 and go to extrude. Let's try to extrude this to 100 and symmetric. I click on the new extrude, go to the mirror this one in the SZ plane, and drop this one down and select these two and go to mirror again in the YZ plane. Now I can drop these four and select these four, go to the union, and then I can control selecting the body and the new fusion, and I go to cut. Okay, so this is what we have. And let's see, let me hide these discrete chunks. Okay. So this is the result that we have, the lid and the body. So maybe I should change this one a little bit lower. Let me go to delete. And let's go inside here. And the revolve 001. And this cat 005. Let's change this one to 160 or 170. Close. Yeah. Yeah, I think 170 is better. So that's it for the tutorial. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video.